none other than Prophetess Mary Duncan. Come on in here, CEO. Come on in here.
Hello. I see my girls sitting here. I see my girls.
They're my girls.
They
They're my
sitting
Kappa
here.
girls.
They sitting here. They sit here. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
So today we have a lot going on. So I know that, we're live here on the radio station, of course, that's where we are. But we are also streaming. I think we got about 12 phones set up here.
Literally,
for
we're streaming
almost
live from
every avenue
yes,
that we
yes.
could. And it's because I really, really wanted to get out and share about this organization. So this is a first, because see, this is her seat normally. But today
she in the hot seat.
She in my seat. She in the she serves seat. Okay, so we finna get into it. That's the she serves seat. Well, once again, like I said, this is Prophetess Mary Duncan. She is the CEO and founder for Kappa Gamma Sigma Sorority Incorporated. And I know you see us, you see me. I'm in my, got my lines yet. Yes, we are, because we are cute.
Stay ready.
Always. Stay ready, because that's it.
You gotta get ready.
But I want to share this wonderful organization, because a lot of people are, they on our pages. They looking, they seeing us, they looking at this magenta, pink, and black, and trying to figure out what's going on. And I said, this is the opportune time.
Wow. To
come and talk about this organization. And we're going to talk on some hot topics. We're going to talk on some things that we know that people are trying, going to ask or try to figure out. So we're going to touch a little bit on that.
Figure it out.
But before that, I want to know, how did Kappa Gamma Sigma come to you, and why?
Wow.
The why, y'all.
So, Kappa, I guess, okay, so let's start from the very, very beginning. I personally had been asked to become a part of a lot of different sororities, the Divine Nines, and I just couldn't find my way to fit. And I'm always praying about stuff, and I'm always asking God, should I? Is this the right move for me? And he never gave me an answer. And so with that being said, I began to ask God to give me wisdom of a sisterhood, a real sisterhood, and how it was structured. And I said, well, what if I had a Christian sorority where there were not so many stipulations, and that they can still have core values and still believe and still be, and not that, please don't get this twisted, not that the Divine Nine doesn't have these things.
Absolutely.
This is about Kappa.
Exactly.
And so I began to ask God for all of these things. How can I put it together and have a Christian sorority? And that's what Kappa is. That's what Kappa is. A Christian sorority. And so we didn't have to alter anything, and we didn't have to lose anything. And I was looking for women of God, like-minded, that can fit into the pieces of my puzzle.
So the inclusivity is what I love about it. And what I mean when she says stipulations, we all know that a lot of the Divine Nine, and there is more sororities and fraternities that started out, but they're just not in that union. But we know that, why they started, and so they paved the way for a lot. And I want you all to understand that, when they started, don't mean that no one else was going to start after them. Or, and not that people didn't start before them. But, we know that you have to be a part of a 4-year university. To be undergrad, you got to be, in college, active, and holding the GPA. We know to be in a grad chapter, you have to have a bachelor's and have to graduate. And that's fine. But not everyone gets that opportunity to either go to school or even finish school. Some people are not even built for college. So, and you have to be okay with that. So I love the fact that you made this for people of all walks of life in that educational realm.
Yeah.
So to be a part educationally, and I do my, you got to be you got to be doing something, right?
You have to be doing something. So the stipulations for Kappa was a little different from any other sorority. I'll say that. One is you had to be gainfully employed. Or in school, you had to have community service hours, and if you didn't have it, we gave you time to get it. So when you had become a fit, we made it possible so that you could become a part. And so gainfully employed, you had to have community service hours, or readily to do your community service hours. You had to have recommendation letters. And basically just a believer. And so that's
a believer. We're going to get to that in a minute.
And so that was pretty much the stipulations for
and entrepreneurship, because we're big on that. If you're not employed, you have entrepreneur.
Yeah, you have to do something.
You got to be doing something.
You gotta have some, what they say, coins to be a part of anything. So,
to be a part of anything. We all know that. But when you're doing something, that means that you're not just idly sitting. Yeah. You're just not waiting on something to come to you. But you have to exactly right. So there's something that she always say. Yeah. And what's your one of your?
You gotta get up and go get it and come back with it.
That's it. You gotta go get it and come back with it. Yeah. And if you ain't doing nothing, you ain't getting nothing. I'm just saying.
You can't.
Not at all. But the stipulations, like I said, I love how you just basically took that barrier down. Yeah. Because we know, again, school, education in man's eye is always usually up there, but it doesn't have to be. So besides the stipulations, so when you said, this is what God said, so how did you hit the floor running?
So I prayed about it, and I asked God for direction as to which way to go. And so I reached out to this young lady, this young lady that's sitting on the side of me. I'm just gonna throw out that since you want to interview me, let's interview you.
Oh my God.
And we began to talk, and we began to put things into action, and I began to share with her the vision that I had. And that's why it's so important to have people in your life or people in your corner that understands vision. And vision is not just about being the head, but vision is about understanding it. And people that can run with the vision. If you don't have any runners, your vision will never come to pass. But as I gave it to her, she began to run with it and assist me and help me to bring it to pass. And I'm talking about sleepless nights.
What?
We called it Team No Sleep.
Team No Sleep.
Putting it together. I'm talking about word for word, letter by letter, websites,
everything,
articles, EINs. I mean, if you can name it, insurance, everything that we had to do to make Kappa Gamma Sigma Sorority, Christian Sorority Incorporated legit is what we did. And so, it was so important that this sisterhood would come to pass. I'm talking about within 30 days of a vision, and to make it what it was, it was God ordained. It was all God, not just the works that we did with our hands, because it couldn't have been done without God giving the vision, but then making provision for the vision. So it was some work.
It was. And my thing is that when she said that you have to have people that can take a vision and run, meaning that you can assist the vision without your intentions, because it's not your vision. So if God gives visionarians, but He also blesses and ordains runners, and runners with clean hands that will be a good caretaker of someone's vision. So and then more people, because there had to be an establishing line.
My God.
So
the Titanic.
So there had to be
Fabulous 12.
So I love it. So after everything was established, you had a vision for a line. And this was something like no other. This part right here. And
My
what's
God.
crazy is that on Sunday, when the CEO and founder of our brothers, and we'll talk about them, our
they're
friends,
coming.
we'll talk about them in a minute, Apostle Kente Duncan. But he actually tied something together, and it was just, we just got, when he was talking about Jesus and his 12.
Wow.
And then you started out with
12.
So what made you come? What? How did that come about?
It was pretty difficult, but again, it was something that I seek God for, and God began to just give me everything that I needed to put the puzzle together. And so it was 12 young ladies in my ministry. And now, of course, it was more than 12 there, but this was the 12 that boarded the Titanic ship. And so they were handpicked. They were strategically named and placed by number.
And our names were
biblical names.
Biblical
names. And so everybody name had a meaning. Everybody that was named fit the description of that individual's character.
Wow.
And so, it was careful thought. It was careful prayers and things that took place in the naming part. So, yeah.
So now
I
want
to be the glory.
Amen. So I want to dispel something, because I know she just told you the name of the first to do. And if you don't know, let me just take this little 5-second. The first to do it. She said, I'm a deuce. Come on, my deuces. I know you out there watching. And I am known as Queen Esther. So, but the Titanics, everyone in the carnal eye was like, the Titanic, it sank. Why would we name the Titanic? Why did you call us the Titanic? But we didn't sink. How about that? But go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, and I knew the story of the Titanic. I knew the one thing that stuck out with me when I thought about the Titanic is that it was one of the largest ships in the world, and this thing had to be the biggest. And so, and not only that, it was a place of just again seeking God, because when the name came, and I'm like, God, Titanic is not in the Bible. Like, how am I gonna? You gave me biblical names, but how do I tie the two? And as you said, the world looked at it as the Titanic ship sank. Our ship didn't sink
at all.
It actually came to shore.
And we docked.
And everybody that was started out finished.
Yeah.
So it lets me know that when God is in the process of a thing, you can't look at what has happened before and look at what the world think. You have to stay spiritual. And regardless to what they were saying, I stayed spiritual and I remained on what it was that God was saying concerning that ship. And it was the biggest.
And look at the definition of Titanic. Not the storyline, the movie. Because first of all, well, not the movie, but you know what I mean. First of all, this did happen, but look at the definition. The reason why they named the Titanic, because it was the largest ship, and it housed so many people from all walks of life. We know that there was a system. They were the people with the coins was up top. We know, but I'm just saying it was different levels.
Yeah.
It was different levels. So.
And let's talk about the different levels that was on the Titanic ship for Kappa.
Okay.
We had evangelists. We had and everybody was just like, oh, they all pledgees, but they wasn't pledgees to me. And I think I called you pledgees probably a small amount of time.
That is true.
So it wasn't about being a pledgee to me because they were handpicked. They were people that God gave me to put on the Titanic ship. And when she said different levels, again, we had evangelists, we had intercessors, we had prayer warriors, we had praise and worship leaders, just an entity of the body of Christ that would now enter the water together. and have to learn to get along and sail on the biggest ship in the world.
And trust in each other's gifts
To
in the
help them.
spirit, as well as gifts and talents and personalities. And actually, this was one of the first times that the ones that were chosen really interacted intimately. There was a small group that may known, been around each other longer, but then you infuse that with people that never been around them, that never had that tight unit. Some people never really had female friends, and we're not friends, we're sisters, we're sorors, but they never really interacted that close with women because we know the stigma of women. But even women in Christ, we abolish that because we're supposed to be bigger and better than that.
Yeah.
So the wonderful 12, the first 12.
The first to do it.
The first to do it. That's what we say. And don't get mad. I love all of my sorors. Don't get mad, but we're the first to do it. But we had
and she makes that known to everybody.
Everybody all the time. I mean that's gonna be my middle name. I would go get it the change in the court system if I could. If y'all think I'm crazy, put me in. But I'm just saying. Yep. Nefertiti, the first to do it. No, it's okay.
Queen Esther.
Queen Esther.
Yeah.
First to do it. So Kappa Gamma Sigma Sorority, we started out with the 12. We docked, we crossed, and before I moved a little bit further into Kappa Gamma story, we had some frat brothers. And why did you want us to have brothers that we ain't have to look nowhere else for?
Because I'm a firm believer that there is a foundation to everything. And I wanted the brothers to have the same core values as we had, eating from the same table, getting the same thing, because if we were all being raised up in this thing together, then we could operate as such. Then having someone come into conjoin with us that didn't have our values and didn't understand what we were doing and what it was about, because it was not just about a sorority, it was about a sisterhood. And I know that kind of runs into each other, but at the same time, sisterhood is bigger than any word to me. Yeah. Because sisterhood is an action word. Because it had to, this thing had to be demonstrated. And I watched the process, and they didn't understand why the process went the way it went, but I strategically put the process or created the process like it was to see who would last and see who would understand. It was a reason why you did this, and it was a reason why, everything had a reason. Yeah. It had a purpose. You just wasn't doing something, and nobody was just not pledging you. Right. I needed to process you. Oh, and so there's a difference to me there.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. What we say in Kappa is no process, no pearls. Not no pledge, no pearls. That's no process, no pearls. So it really means a lot to be processed to a thing.
And yes, we understand, or I could say we understand that there are other sororities and fraternities that have beautiful ceremonial things that might make but they're being made, but the process is different, because when you go through a process that's meaningful, and when you can look back on it, you're not going to stand in the beginning. In the beginning, you're like, okay, what's going on? And then when you're starting to go through it, you're like, okay, I kind of see.
I kind of understand.
But when you're at the promise, after the process, then you're like, these my sisters. You understand it better. And it made a difference. And look, everyone that's watching and listening that knows me, yes, I've been a part of organizations that has the tagline sisterhood on it, but this meant different. And before we close, I'm going to tell you how different it meant. So our brothers, who are our frat brothers?
Kappa Gamma Mu Fraternity
Incorporated. So yeah, so
And I love them.
yes, that our brothers are like none other.
And the CEO is my boo.
Uh,
Yes, he is.
she got her own personal mule.
My own personal mule, the CEO.
Yeah, I do too,
Nah.
but I ain't want to say nothing. There's a lot of, but and that's a
whole nother story.
It is so much that that makes Kappa Gamma Sigma sorority and Kappa Gamma Mu fraternity so unique and set apart.
Yeah,
that
different.
you have that you can do. Some people, they got a chance to do this with their spouse. Yeah. Meaning, like, yes, the brothers had their process and they were over there out the way. We was in our thing, but when we came together to a combined probate and a combined probate, oh my God, it's just something that you can stand next to your husband and be like, and we were able to do something together that they probably never been able to never get the opportunity to do. We know that the one sorority and fraternity in the Divine Nine that is constitutionally bound, our blue and white family. But there's a lot of them don't have that.
No, but Kappa do.
But Kappa do. And that's what makes it so unique. But that was like one of the most amazing things. And if you ain't never been to a Kappa Gamma Sigma and Kappa Gamma Mu probate,
you missing it.
Don't let look. You can be. I'm gonna let Prophet say this. You can be a Christian and stay true to the foundations of Christendom and your faith and being a believer, and can still have clean fun. There's nothing wrong.
We have a ball, you guys. We stroll, we eat, we dance. We just have a ball.
We stay up all night, 2 and 3 in the morning.
So Kappa, we call it So the weekend of probate, we call it Kappa's weekend because it's literally Kappa's weekend. We don't sleep. It's not about you. It's the sisterhood. It's the brotherhood, and we're together, like piled up in rooms. Like we, no big eyes and no little U's, just understanding. A lot of times I meet people and they was like, "Oh, that's the CEO. She's really down to earth." Because God gave me the vision, didn't mean that I was untouchable, I was unreachable. I still wanted to be in the face of the sisterhood.
Yeah. Yes.
I want to be a part of the process. I want to be in the presence of the sorors, and that's how Kappa is built. And I love it. I mean, it's just amazing to me to watch this come to pass, watch the manifestation of what it is that me and God discussed, and how he gave it to me, and me having the individuals around me that understood me, because they understand I only move in excellence. I don't know any other way. And so half doing stuff or half trying to produce stuff
was not an option.
It's not an option. And I this is just the way I live. It's not nothing we're doing for the face of Kappa or for the face of people. It's just operating in excellence, and that's what we do. That's how we do it.
And when she said, and then guess what? And even as a member, there's a standard that we have. You can't be out here you can't have nothing on anything saying you're a part of Kappa Gamma and then you're acting or showing yourself the whole opposite way of what we believe, because then what's the purpose? What is the purpose of us even being in existence? So when Chicago was birthed, after that wonderful March month, after we were birthed, guess what happened, y'all?
Ooh. Bing, 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 bing,
bing, bing. So at that time, I was, helping with the website and everything. Yeah. And honey, when I say our inboxes and everybody was calling her, and she was like, "Hold on," she was like, "Teach, I need a process because people are calling me, and I need them not to call me no more." But it grew, and after Chicago. Then we touched bases in Indiana. Indiana came through.
Then Atlanta. then North Carolina,
then
Texas, then Memphis. It just kept going. It just kept going.
And we got magenta, pink, and black just flowing out throughout
Everywhere.
the United States. You hear me?
Everywhere.
That's how you know that it was definitely God ordained, or that He was in it, because I mean, people were like, I've been waiting.
Wow, for a sisterhood.
For a sisterhood.
A Christian
sisterhood.
A Christian
that
sisterhood.
means, that say what they mean and mean what they say.
Yeah.
That we just not faking what we saying. That it is real.
Yeah.
So, Kappa Gamma Sigma Sorority Incorporated. Where can you find Kappa Gamma Sigma Sorority Incorporated?
Everywhere. Just look on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're pretty much everywhere. Our website is www.kgsinc.org. And just or go to the page Kappa Gamma Sigma Sorority Incorporated, and right there you can click onto our website and just find out more about us. A little background about myself. I am a pastor. I'm a prophetess. A prophet ordained by God. I'm a believer. And I believe in sisterhood. I believe in bringing women together. That is my passion. That is my heart. I know a lot of people are saying, oh my God, that's the lady from Kingdom Girls. I am. That is one of my ministries, and still gathering women, still bringing them together. I believe in that. And because we have women that are in so many different places, some are broken, some are struggling. We want to get you healed and get you to a place where you can enjoy the same things that we enjoy, and being together. Not catty. I don't like catty stuff. And I'll go back. I want to back this thing up. And as Apostle saying, drop it like it's hot. For those that are listening and those that are watching, we grew. We didn't just grow. We swole.
Yeah.
And anything that swells has to come back down. And so we took a hit. Yeah. We took a hit. I'm talking about, it was a time where we had crossed, I think the largest line we crossed probably about 52 people at one time, from maybe 4 different states, 3 different states. And that was large, and the lines were 18, 20 people at a time. And I'm saying, we're the process was kind of taking a hit as well, because you can't do all of what you really want to do when you only got 8 versus you have 28.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I got to put people in place. I got to put people in line so that they, we can get this process done without compromising.
Yeah.
And I think, Dr. Neff, I think in the process, when we were swelling, the process was compromised. And so with the process being compromised, people were just sneaking in.
Wow.
And you know how that song said, somebody's trying to sneak in our frat. Okay?
Yeah.
But we ain't gonna have no stuff like that, And so that was one of the things, but we had to adjust things. We had to adjust our process. Yeah. We had to put people in play that can kind of weed out, because they say it's better to keep them out than kick them out. And so we had to weed people out. You want to shut the door? We can shut it.
We can shut the door.
Yes.
Oh,
hold on one second, y'all. We got a little issue right here. Excuse me.
Yes.
Can you please come shut this door?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I didn't want to come back.
That's okay. And so we began to alter the process to make sure you okay.
Yeah. Okay.
To make sure that everything was lining up, because we didn't want to just allow people to come into the sorority. And like I said, it was happening so fast. We were swelling so fast, and then the Lord began to just put His hands, not just as the foundation of it, but to cover the whole sorority. Because some of the things we went through, we should have disappeared off of the face of the earth. But because God said it,
right?
Because His word would not return to Him void, we did not disappear off of the face of the earth. And we backed up.
There we go. Took a pause.
And we backed up. We took the pause, but in the midst of the pause, the pandemic came, and it allowed us to clean some stuff out. It allowed us to to deal with the root of some real problems and issues that if we were fully operational, we couldn't have done.
And this is where I said, because I know we're going to be coming close to our time, here live on Kingdom Connections Internet Radio, is that when they took the pause, yes, a lot of people, pruning, things, things had to go. Some people left, some people had to leave. And this is how unique and special this organization is, because when I say the foundation is true to its word about being biblical, because when you're biblical, that means all the principles and aspects that come with that is in place. And what do I mean by that? So when God gave prophetess the signal to say, all right, let's go. We get ready to start up another line, and during that time, I also had departed and took a leave, and I was gone. And when I saw on there, she would nudge me a little bit because a couple of things happened in the organization, and she tugged on me, but not pulled me, but she tugged on me to do a couple of things. And y'all know I'm a background person. I have no problem. Whatever she needed, even though I wasn't there physically, I still did what she needed to have done for those certain situations. But I saw they posted, and I'm like, I said, okay, God, you knew my heart. I missed Kappa Gamma Sigma
You
Sorority.
missed that?
Yeah. Look, when you are a part of the foundation of something,
it's hard to just walk away.
Hard to walk away, but also when you know the heart of the founder and the foundation, that now you want to reach people and more people, and you know that you can be a part of that. That's being a part of the organization, not just joining to be joining, not sucking it dry for whatever thing that when you are investing your time, it's not a church. It's not a church, but it's a Christian organization. So guess what? Your time, your talent, and your money. So your treasure. There we go. Because I wasn't gonna say tithes. Because again, this is not a church. But all three takes an organization. If you make time for stuff that you want to make time for, right?
Yeah.
So when you say, no one forced you to go through the process. No one forced you to show up to see my Kappa girls. Y'all see this is mine. It goes on with me, Kappa girls. So don't think you get to come up here and think that y'all gonna come and get this pillow. Then mine. But I came back and I came to the meeting like everyone else. So let's understand the integrity that I prayed that I had when I did this. But I came back. I didn't come back trying to be who in a position that I'm not in no more. I didn't try to do any of that. I came back prayerfully humble as I could. Not that I was it wasn't no grovel thing. It was being to understand that I was coming back into a new time, a new not new era, but they were moving differently.
But I want to interject. I will say it's a new era for Kappa.
Okay.
I'll say this the big girl era.
Hey.
Yes. The big girl era.
The grown folk time.
The grown folks
I
era.
got it. I got it.
We grew up. Kappa grew up.
Kappa grew up.
We didn't have like the other sororities, because I won't keep saying divine now.
Right.
We didn't have like the other sororities where it was hundreds of thousands of them, so they could take a hit and keep going.
Right.
Like the hits we took should have took us out,
right.
But because God said no.
Yeah.
He was in the midst of it. I'm telling you, he kept my mind. I mean, it was some things done, and I was put through. I literally had to fast and ask God, like, are you sure? Like, you sure about this? And I remember talking to one of my sorority sisters, and she said, I need Kappa. She's like, I don't have any sisters. These are my sisters. I need this. And see, while some people wanted it, some people needed it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I'll go with the need over the want any day.
Any day.
And so yes, it's cute. Yes, we cute.
You know it.
We cute. We dress cute. We got cute stuff. But behind all that stuff,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
has to be a foundation, and that foundation is Christ. And that's what we are built on, nothing else and nothing less.
Nothing.
And I'm standing on it.
Unapologetically.
And
we're
grew up.
non-negotiable. Ain't that what Pastor Angela said?
Prestigious, no lack.
No
Yes.
lack.
Pastor
Absolutely.
Angela Johnson spoke at our probate this past weekend, and she told the ladies, "You are in a non-negotiable state." When I tell you, I felt that thing.
Pastor Smith killed that.
Oh my God! So here's the thing. When you talk about your time, your treasure, and your talents, you know your money, you putting it invest. When you invested in a thing, it's
I take this seriously.
it's invested in a thing.
Yeah.
You have to look at it different.
You do.
Even if you have to pray, and you have to fast, God does not bring you to and not bring you through.
That's true.
And so I want, and I'm putting this out there for those that are interested in Kappa Gamma Sigma Sorority Incorporated. I want soror sisters that understand that we gonna agree to disagree, and we still gonna be sorors. Those are the sisters that I want.
And that you can make a mistake and then have restoration.
Yes.
Okay.
Because restoration is a part of sisterhood.
That's correct. We cover, not expose.
Oh my God. I have two biological sisters that I grew up in the house with, and I'm telling you, we would always have things going on, and you would talk to get over it.
Yeah.
Forgive.
Yeah.
Move forward, move on. And so, even in this state where I am right now, we talk about our peace, and I don't wanna okay, well, but you can't choose who your sisters are. That's something that God put together.
Yes.
And I believe the same thing for this sorority.
Absolutely.
This is something that God has put together. And so, again, I want sisters that can agree with me to disagree, but not, you said it, not expose me, but cover me.
Add to it, not take away.
Pray for me.
There we go.
And not demand me.
Pray, P-R-A-Y, not P-R-E-Y. Yes.
Don't pray on me, but pray for me.
Exactly.
Because this is, I never led a sorority. I never had a sorority. I think I've been some type of leader though.
Goodness. I promise you all, and again, Kappa Gamma Sigma Sorority is, like I said, we're unique.
Different.
We're different. We're set apart.
Prestige.
We are set apart. So if you are interested, she gave the website, which is www.kgsinc.org. Read about the organization. Look at the pictures. Go online. Go on Facebook.
Yeah.
If you Google Kappa Gamma Sorority Incorporated, we're on Instagram, Facebook, she said, TikTok. But when you start seeing people, and it had to be a why that people joined, and also was a why what people had to make their exit. But this line that crossed here, this summer line, the divine ship, before we get out of here, cut up and showed out, had a boots on the ground, they magenta pink boots on the ground. But when I say for this to have been the first line after the
it's
small,
been 3 years.
3 years.
It's been 3 years. So
3 years.
That's been a while. That's been a long time.
And when I say that it was definitely a divine time, and they cut up, but it was intimate. It was so, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. So, I mean, if you ever wanted to join, No, you don't have to have a college degree, but you better have something going on.
A job.
And I know we joke and say, but you have to.
Entrepreneurship, doing something.
Corporate
Doing
America,
something.
McDonald's. You got,
Yeah.
if you showing up somewhere and working, and then guess what? When you come to an organization like this, there might be things you've always wanted to do. And then there's people that are here that can help push you to that next level.
We have a lot of resources.
A lot of resources.
Going
We
on.
believe there's so much in the house. There's so much in our Kappa houses
Yeah.
that, if you want to start a business, there's business birthers.
My
If
God.
you have a vision or a dream to write a book, there's authors that
Wow.
can show you the way. There's people that if you wanted anything, I guarantee you come up with it, it's in the house. But this is a strong sisterhood. And I wanted her to come on here after the weekend because Kappa shut down Facebook. I don't care what you say, and if you think we didn't. We was all over Facebook. And I know
we even had a moment where Scoot was involved, remember?
oh yeah, excuse me. Yeah, we know.
Oh, man.
We praying for him. He
Yeah.
gonna but look, but
Like,
we had
stole
so
my
much
stuff.
fun.
Them Kappa ladies done stole my stuff.
It's stole my stuff, okay?
Yeah,
But
so-
I had to have. I was like, okay, I know that she don't want to. She do so much, and I said, please, you got to come on here because now is this time.
Yeah.
This is the time that if Kappa Gamma Sigma sorority and our muse, if we about to go, then we need to go.
Yeah.
And you need to know and have that personal talk with our founder to understand the why and the foundation.
Yes.
And we're not, and I'm going to dispel this before our little last 5 minutes, and I hope it's okay
No,
for me to go, and I promise I'll be good.
5 minutes.
She
come on.
makes sure that I be
Come on.
good, y'all. But look, sororities and fraternities, we have respect for everyone that's doing their thing. There's a reason and a why of why the Divine Nine was started. We know that it's in our Black history, and we know that they didn't. There was other organizations that didn't want people that looked like us, so we had to pave our own way. Right? That's the same thing. There's nothing to take away from any other organization, but guess what? Everyone, there's space at the table for everyone.
Yes.
And if they were able to do it, that means that they laid a foundation to show that we as a people can do it. But this is not just about our community. We're multicultural. Because guess what? As long as you are a believer in Jesus Christ, the Lord our Savior, because we're real specific with that, okay?
Yes.
We don't want you believing in something else, but
Wow.
there's room, and if we don't discredit, no one should discredit us, because there's a reason why each organization was birthed. And I'll run down people's history all day long, right? Because we know our beautiful AKA sisters started out with a beautiful pink and green. But then even within our own culture, some colorism started making the play, right? And then our chocolate sisters had to go over to the Delta, right? So look, I'm going to keep it real with you, right? There's a reason and a way for everything. So if there's a respect for everyone, if you are AKA, we respect you. Know that your pink
Don't
and
forget
green.
Deltas. My
Oh
baby a
yeah,
Delta.
that's right, because she got a daughter that's a Delta. I got family I was affiliated with. I got family that's Deltas, that's AKAs, that's Sigmas and Zetas. We love and appreciate everyone.
Everybody.
But we are a prestigious set of women that are
Set
working,
apart.
that are set apart, that is just working to give the opportunity to women that never had the opportunity.
And want to be a part of
And
a
want to be a
system,
part of a
sorority.
system, right, a Greek organization. That's it. That's all. We can all do this together. We can show up to the same party and leave and not take away from anybody. Well, I want to thank you so much, CEO, for coming on the She Served chair.
And she's serving.
I try. But I thank you so that now you all know the why, the reason, how, all the fives, the who, what, where, when, and why. That Kappa Gamma Sigma Sorority Incorporated and Kappa Gamma Mu Fraternity Incorporated came about. So if you are interested, if you think you able, right? If they think they're
You gotta
able,
be able.
you gotta be able. That's just what I
been told.
and know. But if you think that you are able, and honestly, you really want to be a part of a sisterhood that's going to uplift you, encourage you, push you, press you, stretch you, any and all that for God's good and yours, that this could be your home. Mm-hmm. So all the information is on the website. Check us out. Look at it. Thank you all. Look, Kingdom Connection Radio, I love you all that tune in. We work to bring it different to you every time. I told you that we're bringing beautiful and strong people on this show that is going to add and not take away from you. That the time you spent with me is that you're going to get something out of it. So we want to thank you all. This has been my time. She Serves Radio. She Serves Radio Talk Show on Kingdom Connections Internet Radio. Meet me next Tuesday at my regular time at 7 p.m. live here. And I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in live on Kingdom Connections Internet Radio. You all have been a blessing to She Serves, and I hope that She Serves has been a blessing to you. So thank you all for joining in. I'll be back live at 7 p.m. during my normal time. Today we had to take a little care of some business, so we popped on early. But tune in. I'll be back. Hang out with your girl. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Kingdom. Yes. Thank you so much. So everybody, I know I'm coming off of the radio. I know you guys are hearing me on the radio, guys. So I'm saying bye to all of the live streams that we had going. So yeah, we have like 4 media outlets that was running today. Hey guys, thank you for